I wasn't afraid of dying. What I was afraid of was I was going to die alone. And I was crying because I was empty.
You need to start from not zero, minus 10.
And also you got prejudice against you for 6 months. My diet was 2 coffees and a sugar donut. Nobody wanted to do business with me. And they started putting websites against me. I'm a paedophile, I have this, it's really horrible things. And my children went to school for 6 days and they were said, Daddy, there's another website. It was embarrassing, it was a horrible period of my time. So I go down, open the phone and break in at night, sold everything inside my houses, put the keys on the kitchen table there. I came here with $750.
Hello. I'm here in Dubai with Dariush Sudi, who has been hero of his life and now he's helping others to become hero of their lives. He has been in difficult challenges, up and down, started many businesses to $1 million from the zero. He knows how to get to the success and what are the challenges. Today we are going to get to know him more, learn about his journey and get some wisdom to become our heroes in our lives, become gladiator. Thank you very much for accepting my invite, Dariush.
I'm honored. Thank you, Slay. Thank you for asking me to be on your platform. I'm really honored.
It's my pleasure. So last week we were in Mind Valley 3 days event and you were one of the 20 speakers and it was day 3. I remember I was a little bit tired. I wanted to get a coffee and then you came to the stage. And I said, this Persian dude, so who is he? And in 2 minutes, energy of the room was through the roof.
Isn't it amazing?
I was speechless and it was like having 2 shots of coffee. And I thought, he's Persian, I'm Persian, I feel connected. It was because of that. During the lunch, I started talking to people. He was one of the best. He was the best. The energy was amazing. And I said, I wanted to talk to him. What are the secrets? How come you've got that vibe, that charisma, that energy? Is it something that you always had it or no, you gained it?
My father died when I was 4. So I think since the age of 4, I realized that we only live life once and it's not guaranteed. So I think when I look at people, I look at majority of people like the Walking Dead. There's no urgency, they think they're going to live forever. So from the age of 3, I've been counting how many days till I'm 30, how many days have I got, how many nights, how many holidays, how many ski trips, how many days before I die, before my knees get going. So I value every second. Leading to the Mind Valley, and the audiences, I have a 5-6 million following of gladiators around the world. The Mind Valley audience is different. They're into manifestation, yoga, spirituality. And then I'm thinking, over the years of 40 years being in business, most people who are on that field are not making money. And if I'm going to give, I only had a 20-minute window, and I also want to give value, I'll compress it, but not make it overly aggressive because people think gladiator, but straight to the point. So what happens is, as you get older, past 50, you stop caring about what other people think. So I got there with the attitude, I'm going to over-deliver, I've got 20 minutes, point by point by point, I'm going to raise the energy. And then at the end, I've got a 3,000 people standing ovation. It was amazing, no?
That's amazing.
That's
unbelievable.
The love in the room was incredible. So that's what we do it for.
That's amazing. So you call your heroes gladiator. Why?
Loyalty is really important to me. I think being Persian, being Iranian, we always talk about our history, our great history, right? So Romans, Persians, Greeks, I'm really into history. But every time I go to Rome, I can sit in the Colosseum for hours and I imagine what it used to be like. So since childhood, I've studied gladiators and I realized gladiators weren't just about killing each other, right? Here's the thing, right? That, although we don't kill each other anymore, but the process of winning battles is still the same. So when you start and you got to go and win sales appointments, you got to convert clients, sell something, you're battling. But the difference is we've gone soft. 2,000 years ago, gladiators, if you just see how it goes, you'll die, right? I thought, what if we actually went into every appointment, every meeting, every battle like our life depended on it, like a gladiator? how well we could be billionaires, right? And also, loyalty is really important to me. Gladiators were extremely loyal to each other. Honor was really, really important, right? So I thought, I have so much synergy with them. And I would like to make men and women more gladiatorial, stronger, in charge of your own destiny, instead of being victims of society.
Amazing. Because, in the movie they were a slave, and you should be a slave or soldier, then you become gladiator.
Yes.
So, and somehow we are slave of the system, that we are stuck in day-to-day life, and we need to get out of that. I love your system.
Yes, thank you. The system is actually in place to make you a slave.
Mm.
You work, you get educated the way they want you to get educated, and then you get a job, you pay taxes, your life policy, your pension doesn't cover your standard of living, and you die a frustrated life. And that's what the Rockefellers wanted you to do 120 years ago. Hence, they put that education system in place. So, in my opinion, we have the right to question why. Is this for me? But at the same time, we have to accept that 98% of people, it's for them. We need doctors, we need nurses, we need toilet cleaners, we need bus drivers, taxi drivers. We need them to make the world go round. But there's only a few people who branch out and set themselves free.
Amazing. I'm an immigrant, you're an immigrant, and I've got a lot of immigrants Iranian. I moved to Australia near 14 years ago. And
you're from Australia, not US?
No.
Oh, you're Australian. Whereabouts in Australia?
Sydney.
Oh, I lived there for 9 months.
Yes, so you've been everywhere, London.
1990, my uncle had 2 Persian carpet shops in Wollongong.
Oh, yeah, Wollongong.
So we lived in Sydney, drive to Wollongong every day, long drive.
Oh, nice.
And, I learned lay-by. Do you still have this thing called lay-by? You buy something, you pay for it over a period of time.
Yeah.
And they store it in the back. Unfortunately, I lost all my money. I was 21 at the time. And then my uncle bought a carpet shop and put me in charge. And people will come and say they were Polish workers in Wollongong. And they were paid weekly. So they said, I'll take this carpet, but I'll pay you weekly. So all my cash was sitting in the stockroom. So they made no money and the shop went bust. So I spent 2 months on Bondi Beach, sunbathing.
You were one of the best places.
Yes, in Sydney. Yeah. I loved Sydney. But then you realize how far away from the rest of the world you are.
That's true.
Time-wise, I could only speak to my mom like 3 a.m. and stuff like this.
Yeah, Dubai is central. It's easy to go around, right?
Yes. And at that time, there was no Emirates Airlines. Dubai was a stop. Yeah. And it was a tiny little shop. I was like, is this it? Sharjah was bigger. And so when I came at that time, I drove to Sharjah and stayed there.
Ah, right. So how long have you been in Dubai?
15 years.
Wow.
I was traveling on business. 15 years permanently here, yes.
You call it home here, right?
And it'll always be home, yes.
Just with the timeline, so how long you've been in Iran, then what happened? So just
Iran, 12, 13, we left when I was 12, to go to, let me get this right, because, yes, 12. Because the year we went to England to learn to speak English,
right.
3 months summertime, Elvis died. It's 1977.
Right, so you know that now.
Yes, I know it now. And then we went back to Iran. We do it again 3 months, and the revolution started. So we just stayed.
I see.
And then we went to Manchester, where my uncle was the CEO of AstraZeneca. It was called ICI at the time. And then if you imagine, Iraq attacked Iran, and then he was selling all the drugs to all the, to all the soldiers who were getting injured and stuff. So he was making $30,000-$40,000 a week.
Wow.
So we went to live in his area where his head office was.
I see. So what made you to move to Dubai?
Oh, have you not heard my story?
I want to hear it.
Right. I divorced.
Mm-hmm.
I met my second wife, but I decided to be a dad of my first 2 children.
Mm-hmm.
So my wife met someone here in Dubai. My first wife, she moved here.
Right.
I was quite well known. One night, there's a knock on my door. My second wife was in Spain, in our house in Spain with our baby. So I was in the house with our 2 older children. They live in Dubai now. One's 30, one's 29. And I was shouting at them, somebody answered the door, and They were on their Xboxes and iPads or whatever. So I go down, open the door, 4 men break in at knife point. They attack me with a knife. And they said, we want money from you, blah, blah, blah. And I talked them out of it. I said, tomorrow, because they knew, they said, we'll kill your kids, this. That night, they got arrested in half an hour.
Wow.
I flew my children to Dubai for safety.
Wow.
I drove to Spain to meet my Angela, my second wife. Came back, decided to sell the business. Sorry, I had a heart attack.
Wow.
And when I was in hospital, I decided to sell the business because I was thinking, I wasn't afraid of dying. They said, you're going to die. I wasn't afraid of dying. What I was afraid of was that I was going to die alone. And I was crying because I was empty. So I thought, no matter what happens to life, I want to be with my children. So I was very honest. I told people that I want to be with my children, and I got screwed. People paid me 10% deposit on my business, didn't pay me 90%. I burned my boats. I went to Spain, sold everything inside my houses, put the keys on the kitchen table there. I came here with $750
Wow.
in my pocket, lived in a manger room for 6 months. My diet was 2 coffees and a sugar donut. Wow. Nobody wanted to do business with me. This is a shorter version. And the people who attacked me in my house, they pleaded guilty in court, and they got 6 months house arrest.
Wow.
They didn't even go to jail. And during that time, they started putting websites against me. Wow. That I'm a pedophile, I have this. It's really horrible things. And my children were going to school for 6 days, and they were said, Daddy, there's another website. It was embarrassing. It was a horrible period of my time. So I worked my ass off. I worked so hard. So what happens is I learned about the internet. So I set up an internet company because of those sites.
Wow.
With reputation management became one of the biggest money earners for my business. Social media company, SEO company, training company, sales company. Now I have more wealth than ever before, and I don't have to work for a day the rest of my life.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So your story resonates with many of immigrants, because even the normal immigrants, maybe they haven't gone through that extreme. But for example, you've got a good position in your home country, you are a manager, or you've got your own business, and then you move to another country. You need to start from not zero, minus 10, learn English.
And also you got prejudice against you.
Exactly.
You know, I was a salesman, and after 6 o'clock, everybody would go to the pub. I don't drink. Not because of religion, I just didn't, because in Iran, I just didn't drink. So I never really fit in. Every course I went to on personal development, I was called lost. So you're like a lost soul. You know, I couldn't go back to Iran. We've gone back 500 years. And Dubai was the only place where I thought, we got our religion, I meet Iranians, we got the modern society, the queue here, there's a system, the West, and we have the Islam origins. So it felt good. England, 32 years, never felt good.
I see.
Hated every second.
Very interesting, very interesting.